Chris Salvador here with semi-formed comb hair. It's still terrible, but it's an improvement. So I wanted to really talk about a point that's, because I'm going to be talking about Hillary Clinton in my next, I never look up and down, but I'm just going to look at the camera hopefully this time. I want to talk about a topic that has plagued politicians since, I guess, the 70s, the 80s, gay marriage, and the fact that every politician kind of knows that they're never going to sign anything that allows gay marriage to be official in America. So they always kind of say, I think you can love anyone you want to love, and blah, blah. They say just enough not to look bad. They should just say the truth. It's not going to happen. And I know you say, well, they said slavery would always be, and it's like you can't compare gay marriage to slavery. It's a completely different thing. And I know you say, well, it's about people being in love and wanting two men or two women being in love and wanting to just, come together the same way that a man and a woman come together and have the financial and all that stuff. Here's why America will not accept gay marriage, and I'll tell you the very simple reason. One, because guys are fucking dumb, and gay is a joke. And if you saw Chuck and Larry, if you saw, it costs money to marry. It's not something like I've not been married, obviously, and I don't think any of us who are kind of children and teenagers and kind of in the 20 crowd, like a lot of us are getting married now, we don't really understand what that entails, marriage. But ultimately marriage is really about financing. Before love, for the government, it's all about financing. They don't see it in terms of love. They just see it in terms of cost. And the cost is that you can just have three guys who are straight and as a joke be able to walk next to McDonald's into a frickin' church or somewhere and then just marry two guys as a joke. And you go, well, that's wishful thinking. That's not going to happen all the time. It happens, and it'll totally happen all the time because guys are stupid, and they're going to, let's go get married, bro. Let's go get married, bro. It's fun. Oh, we got married as a joke. Oh, he's my wife. They'll do it, and it's kind of like just handing out handguns or something. It's just going to be a fucking joke to a majority of the straight males. That it's just going to be like they'll be able to get married and divorce, because what does a divorce entail? Fucking a woman, which is what they're going to do. So, hey, what are the grounds for divorce? Banging a woman. I was already straight, so I'm going to go bang one. And you can say, well, if you do that, you have harsh laws and harsh enforcing, and you go after those people and you arrest them, and no one gives a fuck. No one's going to enforce. That costs money to enforce. We can't even enforce, terrorism. We're going to be enforcing stupid guys that want to get married. It's ridiculous. And then for the people, financially, it's also an issue about, like, you take the people at the top, the Fortune 500, men. Marriage is all about, as we've seen with women, it's all about someone being able, like a Kevin Federline, like someone with jack shit, no work, no nothing, being able to just marry into money and go, I married Bill Gates. I'm divorcing Bill Gates tomorrow because I'm sleeping with a woman, and then I take half of his money. You see, you think that's not an issue because it's like, well, they're not gay, they're not going to get married. But you don't really know what that entails. Maybe they could say, well, it's a non-issue now. There's no gay marriage. It's not a thing. But tomorrow you put gay marriage, and all of a sudden you go to Bill Gates. Well, you want $55 million for this new thing. I have a son who needs a husband. You laugh at that. You think that's not an issue. It's $55 million. It's just a sham marriage. But suddenly it's a guy manipulating someone who's rich into marrying another guy for a day, consummating the marriage in some way, and then getting out and taking the money. And if there's one thing that we understand, is that men in this country, it's all about money. It's all about financing. It's all about having the bigger dick. It's all about fucking, I'm at this company, and that's Amazon, and that. So the idea that the top, that even the women, even if the women get in, that competition can marry into one another, and then divorce, and emotions and feelings and all that shit can happen as easy as sign here, I do, there's the witness, you're married, tomorrow you're divorced, millions of dollars are being transferred over here and there, and it becomes insane, because you go, well, all it takes is somebody from the head of Sony to marry the head of this, and then they're married, and then when they're married, they divorce and they get the money, and it becomes more of a financial thing, that it's like, okay, yeah, it used to be wrong to just, I'm not saying it is wrong, but it used to be like, oh, if that person's gay, whatever. It was just your own business. Now it's like, being gay is kind of like a business thing. It's like you gotta teach it in business class, like, well, if you're gay, you can marry into this guy, and then you're stock, and you don't want to ever have to go to a company and say, we're downsizing because our CEO, our chairman, is gay, and he married this guy, and that guy slept with a woman, and now the money's gone. Oh well. So suddenly, you see what I'm saying? So suddenly, oh, well, prenups. Yes, but I understand that. But you're opening Pandora's box in financing and financial world to say that anybody can get married, and then the government has to step in and fucking enforce the fact that you signed a paper that says money can be transferred to this person. With women, we as men think, well, women are stupid. And not only that, I mean, I'm not saying women are stupid, I'm just saying we like to believe, I mean, there are smart women who have done this. They're gold diggers, they get with a man, they take the money, that's it. And we all generally call them whores, or we call them whatever. But when you open it up for everyone to kind of do that, then it's like, who's going to stop and enforce that? Who's going to be able to say, look, this is too much money at stake? Because that's what this ultimately is. Okay, yes, there's love, but when it stops being about love, it starts being about money. And the transferring of all this money and all this craziness going everywhere as a joke and stupidity, it's like, why are we even doing that? Because, well, these two guys, Bill and Bob, wanted to get married. Yeah, but Ted and Theodore they just wanted to fuck around, or they just wanted to take money out of a company or AOL, and it just became this big thing that it's just like, why do that? And not only that, there's also a level of like, it's not fair, because two guys can get married, and you just fucking know that they're never going to be like, well, Ted decided to go fuck a girl, I'm leaving him. You kind of know that, like, there is no that there. A man and a woman finds out he's cheating, they kind of divorce. A man and a man, you find out that he's experimenting, I wanted to have sex with a woman. Oh, that's great, I'll have part. And then it becomes this thing that it's like, that's not fair. Because we as guys, we don't get sex when we marry a woman. We fuck a woman whenever she says we can fuck her. And that's it. We don't get multiple partners and all this other stuff. Wouldn't it be great if I slept with another woman? Well, she has to deal with it. It was experimentation. No, that's not the mentality. But with gay people, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying, I don't speak for all gay people, but for a majority, it's kind of like you're not really married, because infidelity is a what to them? Like, what is the standard that says, okay, he went off and had sex with a girl one night? That's not really cheating. That was me just sleeping with a woman. It's okay to do that. But we can't sleep with other men. And it's like, there's nothing for that for your mom and dad, kind of like just man and woman. There is no that. Oh, it's okay for me to go out and sleep with something else. I'm just experimenting. I mean, it depends on the relationship, but for the majority, it opens up this Pandora's box of like, that's stupid and not fair to kind of just do that. And it just seems like it's the cost is, I mean, whether you believe in the Bible or not, or you kind of, everything kind of just breaks down to just becoming this thing where it's like, if you do it, for most people it's like, well, I don't care. So then it's like, well, then why even get married